Time and time again, in both the literature and in our interviews, relationship appears as one of the main factors affecting the quality of feedback. One student reflected, "I almost think it is easier to give feedback to someone you know than to someone you don't really know because students are going to understand that what you are doing is to help them, not just because you don't like them or not just because you're nitpicky." Relationships are shaped by the filters, such as culture, academic background, past feedback experiences, emotions, and attitude, through which both participants view the world. Ultimately, relationships provide the backdrop on which feedback is exchanged. Students are better able to recall information if the context of learning is a positive one. In effective relationships, students feel empowered to disclose their lack of understanding, to ask more questions, and to become more engaged with their learning. This is ideal, since many teachers wish students would take ownership in the feedback process by initiating the conversation on their behaviors. Relationships can also have a powerful effect in shaping the student's identity as a member of the medical community. When we compiled results from our interviews and literature, we found that strong relationships contain 6 elements. Strong relationships are safe, honest, and open. Moreover, students and teachers have matched expectations, and they share a collegial relationship that is ideally longitudinal. Safety is of paramount importance. Safe relationships are established when teachers acknowledge and adapt to different learning styles to meet the students' needs to succeed. At the same time, students also need to maintain professional communication and respect that each tutor may have different teaching methods. We also need a private, distraction-free environment such that students don't feel exposed. Students worry about being embarrassed in front of others and being unfairly criticized. On the other hand, teachers fear discouraging the student and damaging their relationship, or worse, being verbally abused or being complained about. As one PBL tutor stated, "As a teacher, I too would like to feel safe." Honest and trustful relationships are those in which teachers and students feel confident in supporting one another. Preceptors can show their trust by allowing students to work independently, such as encouraging autonomous learning in small groups and permitting students to see patients by themselves. Also, students who trust their preceptors are more comfortable sharing their uncertainties, clarifying ideas and behaviors, and seeking guidance. Being open-minded is also important to form a strong relationship such that teachers and students are receptive to each other's ideas. This way, feedback can evolve into an ongoing conversation. In fact, one tutor mentioned, "I would like students to be involved in the feedback process. If they ask me questions, just like the ones I asked them, I think that would make the conversation a much better one." Part of an open relationship is also having matched expectations. When students and teachers share a common understanding of their goals, roles, and expectations from the beginning, the hidden curriculum becomes transparent, and an educational alliance can be formed. Otherwise, the relationship can be strained and distressing as neither of them knows what the other expects. Students are reluctant to clarify expectations later in the curriculum as they don't want to be perceived as annoying by the teacher. One student said, "I don't want to break the rules. I don't want to be known as the guy who does that, so that's my fear." Strong relationships also tend to be longitudinal. We do understand that the curriculum may not be able to offer longitudinal opportunities all the time. However, even brief encounters can form satisfying relationships when preceptors acknowledge students, for example, by remembering their names, recognizing their faces, and including them in patient conversations. And yet, relationships that only consist of 1 or 2 meetings can be hard to build. One student said, "We had a bunch of people in DPAS, and they were only with you like 1 or 2 weeks. Like you saw them twice and then they rotated out. So you didn't get to know them well enough, didn't spend enough time with them to actually get good feedback. I think feedback for a short period is, unless for some reason you just really get along, everyone really gets along with the DPAS tutor, I think it defeats the purpose." Lastly, strong relationships are collegial. Students and teachers become partners in providing knowledge and experiences to foment growth of each other and generate new insights. Here, the control of learning process can be shared, with both parties actively participating to achieve learning goals. To further build strong relationships, students and teachers can seek to identify common interests and explore each other's background experiences. As one student put it, "I think the best way of improving feedback is by establishing the relationship outside of the context that the feedback will be provided. Try to form a collegial relationship that is independent of outcome, getting to know your teachers as humans, having them know you as human, because that's what this is really all about." When feedback is delivered from a position of beneficence and care, with a strong and supportive relationship between teacher and student, students are more amenable to reflect and accept given feedback. One student commented, "It's when I have a really good preceptor who is gentle and positive, that's when I am able to take feedback seriously.